At the very beginning of the world, the first two brothers walked the earth. Cain, the firstborn of Adam and Eve, and his brother Abel. They were born after their parents had been cast out of Eden, forbidden to enter the paradise they once enjoyed. In this new world, the ground was hard, and they had to work to survive. Cain labored in the fields, turning the soil and reaping the fruit of the earth with his rough and weathered hands. His brother Abel, however, tended the flocks, leading them to pasture and nurturing them. He was a gentle soul who cared for the creatures he looked after. Though they were brothers, there was tension between them, as Cain envied his brother's good nature and the favor shown to him by God. One day, the time came for them to bring an offering to God, a sacrifice to honor the Creator who had created life out of nothing. Cain brought the bounty of the earth that he had toiled to harvest, the stalks of wheat and fruits of the vine, all that he had grown. Abel, on the other hand, brought the firstborn of his flock, the finest and most pure lambs, offering their blood as a symbol of his devotion. The smoke from Abel's offering rose high, sweet and pleasing to the Lord, accepted as a sign of his faithfulness and purity of heart. But for Cain's offering, the smoke lingered low and heavy. God had rejected his sacrifice and shown favor for Abel instead. A darkness took hold of Cain's heart. His chest burned with the sting of rejection. How could his younger brother's offering be accepted while his own was dismissed? He had worked hard, he had sweated under the hot sun, but it was Abel's offering that pleased God. His anger grew and grew, consuming him from within. It wasn't just the rejection, it was jealousy and humiliation that fueled his rage. The Lord saw the anger in Cain's heart and confronted his wayward child.
"Why are you angry?"
God's voice spoke to him.
"Why are you downhearted? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not, sin is waiting at your door to take hold of you."
God's words served as a warning to Cain and also as an opportunity for redemption. But it was too late. Cain's heart was already poisoned toward Abel, and he could not turn back now. One fateful day, Cain put his plan into action and approached Abel with a sly show of brotherly affection.
"Come, brother, let us go out into the field."
His voice betraying no hint of the angry storm raging inside him. Abel, trusting and gentle-hearted as ever, followed him without question. The fields stretched out before them, vast and empty, the sky above a deep, ominous blue. They walked side by side, the sound of their footsteps the only noise in the silence. But as they reached the heart of the field, something in Cain snapped, and he could no longer hide the seething jealousy, fury, and unbearable weight of rejection. Before Abel could react, Cain struck. His hand, once used to bring forth life from the earth, now was an instrument of death. It was the first murder in the history of mankind. Abel fell to the ground, his innocent blood soaking into the very soil that Cain toiled over. Cain stood over the lifeless body of his brother, his chest heaving, his heart pounding. The silence was deafening, and the weight of what he'd done pressed down on him like a crushing stone. Abel, the favored one, lay dead because of him. And then a voice, the unmistakable voice of God, cut through the air.
Cain, where is your brother Abel?
Cain's heart leapt into his throat, but his mind, clouded with guilt and lingering rage, answered with defiance.
I don't know,
he said, his voice trembling.
Am I my brother's keeper?
The Lord's voice thundered in response, filled with both sorrow and righteous fury.
What have you done? Listen! Your brother's innocent blood cries out to me from the ground.
The Lord's judgment now fell swift and heavy upon Cain.
You are cursed. You will be driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be doomed to wander the earth ceaselessly, without rest.
The punishment was severe. Cain had not only destroyed his brother, but his very livelihood, the thing which he prided himself upon. The soil that had once provided for him would now be barren. He would be a man without a home, a wanderer, forever haunted by his sin. But even in this judgment, the Lord showed some mercy to him. Cain, fearful at the thought of being cast out, cried,
My punishment is more than I can bear. Whoever finds me will kill me because of what I've done.
To spare him from this fate, God placed a mark upon Cain, a sign that no one should take vengeance upon him unless they wanted to receive the same 7 times over. But though he would live with the weight of his crime for the rest of his years. He would go on to build cities and have descendants, but the memory of that day, the day he took his brother's life, would forever haunt him, and the world, tainted with the blood of Abel, would never be the same.